I have got a really interesting and exciting boat to bring you today. It's this, which is a 2001 Fairline Squadron 52. Now, the reason I'm excited by this is two things. Firstly, I really like the layout of this boat, and I will show you exactly why when we go inside, because it's a bit different to the norm. And the second thing is, you might have spotted it already if you've got good eyesight. You'll see it on the seat next to Maggie. This one has been SETAG'd, and it really has been SETAG'd. Now, this boat, as I say, 2001, is almost a quarter of a century old. When we go inside, it will blow your mind just how incredible this looks. But it's actually, as well, I think, a really good looking boat. When Fairline brought these out, the Squadrons of that time were designed to be mini super yachts. And you get that sense with this. When you look at the way that this moulding curves around, the doors you'll see in a second, they're curved. You've got the inset steps up to the flybridge. It's a really, well, it is a compact super yacht is how it feels, and it works brilliantly. Out here, bathing platform, this predates the high-low platforms that we're used to seeing today. So you would use this passerelle, firstly to get you on and off the shore if your stern tube burst in the med, but secondly that acts as a dinghy lift to bring your tender up and put it on the bathing platform. We've got stern thruster on this one. You can see it just down there in the water, hopefully. Well, perhaps you can't, hang on. A bit of reflection. There we go, that's down there. Other things out here, we have got the bathing platform, bathing ladder, I meant to say. That's tucked away down underneath there. There's shower in here, usual kind of stuff. Anyway, let's head on inside. I'm going to show you that, and then we'll come out, we'll do the deck areas, we'll do the flybridge, we'll do the engine space, we'll do the lot. But yeah, wait till you see this. Look at that. Now, the concept of this boat, when Fairline brought this out, most boats of around 50 feet flybridge were 3 cabin layouts. And Fairline decided, you know, how many people are going boating using all 3 cabins? Why don't we make a really luxurious 2 cabin layout? And that might work better for people, and that's what this is. So you've got a massive space up here with the 2 separate areas. You've got the little dinette up there for eating. You've got this lounging area down here, and the helm, which we'll see in a moment, up there in the centre. But yeah, the layout on this is fascinating. But let's talk about the SETAGing, because it's always interesting. And it is everything. It's these linings, it's the head linings. Look at the way they've done this with this inset dark section that goes through. All these panels around here are done. Of course, the upholstery, of course, the carpets, the flooring, the surface here. They've put a flat screen TV that rises out of here. Of course, back in 2001, flat screen TVs weren't really a thing. This underneath then is just storage. I suspect back in 2001, if you wanted a TV, that's where it would have gone, in a space like that. But yeah, today, of course, things have moved on, and this boat has been moved on appropriately. Love this colour scheme. It's very muted, it's very nice. We've got the new table here, again, all nicely upholstered. And then we're back to the layout. So look at the way they've done this. These days we're used to seeing galley aft layouts. What they've done with this one is they've put the galley down here. It's still linked to these areas, but it's separate. And then again, of course, new flooring, all new work surfaces here, new hob, new cooker, new fridges. You know the drill. But isn't that a nice area? So when you're down here, you're kind of tucked away, but you can still chat to people that are here. There's storage tucked around in places like this, down underneath here, that kind of thing. Sink, of course, underneath that one. Fridge, as I mentioned, is here, but the other thing we have here, now this is full of owner gear because they've been working on the whole of the rest of the boat, but what you've got here is a little utility room. This is brilliant, but as I say, it's not really looking its best today because it is a bit full. However, I'll give you a quick peek, and it's like this. So that is space for, yeah, washing machine down the end there, for example, a load more storage in these drawers back here. There's a little sink down there. That's a really useful little space tucked away down underneath there. And again, it's the sort of thing that you don't see on modern boats. There we go. Let's go forward again. Now again, we're seeing these seats all beautifully done by SETAG with this colour scheme. It just looks fabulous. They've stayed with the Burr walnut around here. Again, of course, this is all owner choice, but actually I think that looks really good. But what a commanding position that is. And again, we're back to what I was saying earlier about that sense of the mini super yacht. Yeah, this isn't just a little helm tucked away in the corner. This is a full-on bridge, isn't it? That's great. And you've got these windows that wrap around, almost like a sort of an aircraft screen, isn't it? Brilliant. Up here then, we've got new multifunction displays, new Raymarine VHF radio, new autopilot, that's the bow and stern thruster controls, new steering wheel, new repeater instrumentation here, another Raymarine over on that side. And then down here we've got things like all the circuit breakers here, for example, the 24 volt stuff, so the wipers and the trim tabs and the engine fans, all that kind of stuff is all on there. 12 volt then is on this side, so this is things like the electric helm seats, the hailer, the VHF radios, the stereo, all the 12 volt stuff. And then down here we've got 24 volt again, and we've got 240 volt underneath. There we go. That one there is the original VHF radio, in case you were wondering what's underneath there. But I say that has been upgraded to the new Raymarine over on that side. These little circular discs around here are demisters. Of course, we've got the compass there as well. Now this, I think, is where this gets interesting, because boats of this era always had central access down here, which pushed the helm over onto that side, and then two smaller cabins, and then an owner's cabin at the front. That was how all 50-foot boats at around 2000 seemed to be laid out. Fairline did something completely different. They put this fabulous bridge area up here. They put the walkway down this side, and if I take you down there, pausing briefly just to see there's little bits of storage tucked around in places like this, instruction books, that sort of thing are in there. Again, all new linings, again, all new carpet. But look at this, the way this curves through the boat. I think that's fantastic. I'll take you forward first of all. There's two cabins down here rather than the usual three, but both are a really good size. That's through to the day heads. We'll see that, of course, but I'll take you forward first of all, and we'll have a look in here. That then is what would normally be on a boat of this era, the owner's cabin. On this one, it is the guest cabin, and there's an even bigger owner's cabin. But this is a really good size. And you've got to bear in mind how these boats are used. A lot of people buying 50-foot cruisers of this sort of size, they're people who are perhaps a little bit more mature, kids perhaps grown up, left home doing their own thing. They don't want loads of cabins. They're not buying a big boat to give them lots of accommodation. What they want is lots of space for entertaining. They want good sea keeping. They want the solidity of a large boat. And that's what this gives you, but without packing loads of cabins into it. So we've got hanging locker there and shelving. This one has got the mirror wave out here, which is unusual, usually in the heads. And then again, bits more storage up in places like this. Then we're going to sweep right on round. There's a hatch up through here, got a screen over it at the moment, but that is ventilation and or a way out. New AV equipment, of course, and then this has been built into this little cabinet here. Very, very nice. Again, all new linings, all new head linings. Beautiful. And this is ensuite access into the day heads. So if we take a look in here, that's the other door from the passageway. But then again here, new floor, new loos, new sink, new taps, new surface here. All this has been redone. All this has been redone. New shower. It's now got a rainfall shower in it up there. We've got the vent up there as well. But look how much space for a 50-foot boat, or 52-foot boat. Look how big this is, and that's just the day heads. That's what I mean about this layout. I think it's fantastic. They've not tried to cram too much in. What they've given you is a 2-cabin luxury boat rather than a 3-cabin cabin cruiser. So you get all the sense of a much larger boat because of the fact not cramming too much in. This then is the owner's cabin. It's beautiful, isn't it? Again, all new bedding, all new linings here, well, everywhere. The only things that you can see that are original is the cherry woodwork. And because they have put all these upholstered panels in, the cherry woodwork becomes a feature rather than an overwhelming amount of wood everywhere. This one then, if we come right around here, big storage area, look how that goes right into there. And then what you've got is drawers along here. So just tons of space to put things away. I won't open them all. You can see how everything's been taken out of here. That's why that utility room was jammed full of stuff, because all the stuff that's normally in here, because they've been working on all these areas, is down there. But yeah, I think that's fantastic. And this one, of course, has its own private ensuite. That's in here. And again, great size and nicely finished. New flooring, new loo, new surfaces here, new linings here, new sink, new tap, same sort of deal. Again, rainfall shower built in over there. Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Everything is so well proportioned in this boat. I really, really like it. Superb, lots more to see. Let's come back out here. So that is, as I say, the day access into the day heads, but also what becomes the ensuite via that door at night. There we go, let's close that all back up again. And that one, and we'll head on back. Doesn't that feel special? That's the overwhelming feeling to me with this boat. I mean, yes, of course, it's a 50-foot boat, it ought to be special, but this really is a cut above. Like this a lot. More drawers here, so you've got more storage about the place. There is a cocktail fridge over there for your drinks as well. This is what I mean about this headlining, look at this. It's so crisp and clean and lovely. I am taken with this. So on the outside, we have got where Maggie is, all new upholstery there, of course. In fact, I'm not going to open it right now because you've got to take the backrests off and it's tricky with only one hand holding a GoPro, but I have filmed for you. In here, there's a massive lazarette area. In fact, I have seen these with that optioned out as a crew cabin, but it's a very small crew cabin and I think it makes a lot more sense as a storage area, definitely. Let's take a wander around the outside. You can hear the seagulls in the background. We're down in Plymouth at the minute, which is the home of SETAG at Queen Anne Battery Marina. There we go. This has all been redone, repainted around here. And this is what I mean about the curves and the way this all curves around here. It's got a really nice sense to it. Let's head on round. There we go. On these squadrons of this age, what they did, they didn't put a number on, they put these flags on, and these flags are the signal flags for 5 and 2. Squadron 52. This is what I mean about this screen that wraps around. You see how it looks a bit like an aircraft screen on the front of a Boeing or something like that? It's cool, isn't it? Sunbathing up here, again, of course, all new upholstery. That's the hatch that we spoke about. That's over that forward cabin, and then right up to the bow, we've got the anchor winch. And the anchor then is actually through the stem. Again, it's a big boat feature. Rather than just hanging over the front in a roller, it's fitted in down through there. I don't know whether I can show you that on the outside without falling in or dropping my GoPro, but it's, yeah, you can just see it there on the bow. There we go. There we are. That's an imposing machine from here, isn't it? These little chaps on the side are fender holders, so you can drop your fenders into there if you want to. It's a nice boat to walk around, actually. It's nice wide side decks. These rails are nice and high. These poppers are for windscreen cover, so you can cover all that up and make sure it doesn't bleach the interior when you're leaving the boat. There we go. Let's head on back and I'll take you up to the flybridge. Again, this lovely organic curves that come around in places like this. There's new upholstery, not new upholstery, new canopy, that's what I'm trying to say. That's this. All the canopy is off at the moment. but it zips into this here and drops down, so this whole back area can enclose, either if you're using it and the weather's not quite so good, or if you're leaving the boat. And if you come over here, these are docking winches on the back here. Those are original, and you've got rope bins in there and cleats and that kind of stuff, and those big stainless steel fair leads as well. These are a really nice quality boat in their day, and it still shows today. So you look at this stainless steel work, look at where that goes down and into the cleat. Oh, it's lovely. Transom doors on both sides. Fantastic. Let's press on and up. Now this then will take us up to the flybridge. And again, of course, all reupholstered. Got a little SETAG logo in there. Nice, very nice. So again, we've got the new Raymarine multifunction display, we've got the new Raymarine autopilot, we've got the Raymarine new VHF radio. These are quite nifty because these ones up here are not on a cord, they're wireless. So it sits in there and charges up, and it connects wirelessly, which means you can move around with that and you're not sort of, you know, hanging on the end of a cord. They're excellent. Bow and stern thruster control again, engine controls, usual drill. And then this is sunbathing, again all upholstered around the front of here. But this is a nice view from here, isn't it? Look at this. Good evening, Plymouth. There we are. We've almost got sunshine, but not quite. Right, let's head on round. Another new feature on this one is this bimini top. That's been added, a very useful feature. And then right up on the very top, there's a new radar, and then we've got the searchlight, we've got the satellite domes are up there as well. Hailer is up there, GPS antenna, that kind of stuff. Nav lights right up on the top. There we go. And then again, all reupholstered around here as well. Fantastic. Little gate here, so this can be closed off if you've got kids. That small kids, that can be just dropped across. I think we have to lift that. Yeah, there we go. That closes off like that. But another thing they added, strangely, this boat didn't have a proper cover for this area. So they made these, which was actually quite difficult because of the way it curves around. So there's one section here that drops this way, and then one section here that drops this way to enclose that. There we go. Excellent. I think that's the flybridge covered. Let's go and look at the engines. So we'll head back down here. Two things to show you here. There is another lazarette. Again, it's a bit full of gear at the moment, but that's that fella there. Canopies are in there and that sort of thing. Currently, you can't have too much storage on the boat, that's for sure. And then this one's engine access. So if we bring that one all the way up, I will take you down and in. This one's been out running today, so it's nice and warm in here. Now, the only thing I can't find on this boat is the engine room lights, but I think we'll be all right to see as much as we need to see. What we've got in here, there are engine room lights. I just can't make them work for some reason. I need to have a go earlier. This is a pair of Volvo Penta D12 700 engines. So 700 horsepower each. They are conventional shaft drive. You can see the gearboxes on the back of the engine. You can see the shafts going out down there. These are going to give the boat, I don't have official figures, but I'm going to make an educated guess. She's got to be 30 knots plus with those engines in, I should think. They're big engines. Cruising there for 20 to 25 very comfortably, and range, those sorts of speeds, 300-ish miles at a guess. And then, of course, as ever, bring the speed right back. You'll get an awful lot further. So at 8-10 knots, you're probably getting 500-700 miles, something like that out of it. Fuel tanks are outboard. We've also got the generator in here as well, and that is just there. There we go. This is what I was talking about these curved doors. Look at this actual curved glass that comes around here. You just don't see this stuff normally. Not on a 50-foot boat. You might see it on a super yacht. And that's, again, comes back to where I came in, that this really was designed to give you that super yacht feel in a far more compact boat. Here we go, look at these. Beautiful. But yeah, that is special, isn't it? Very, very nice. This is safety locker, so we've got backup manual bilge pump. Of course, there are electric pumps on board. We've got circuit breakers here, battery switches are here, fuel shut-offs for the engines and the generator are all here as well. And there's also automatic fighting in the engine room, but a manual trigger for that. That's what that little chap down there is for. There we go. And that, my friends, I think is about the size of that. But that is a very special boat, and I think you'll agree it really is a compact super yacht, isn't it? In terms of the feel and the fit and the finish, that's pretty special. Let's come right up back onto the bow. Spin that one around, and I will say massive thanks to SETAG for organising that tour. Massive thanks as ever to you guys for watching it. Let me know what you think of that one, and we'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.